So this is the discussion part of our presentation, and we're going to talk about issues relating to diversity and oppression.
Our conversation or our group dynamic was really based on oppression of different people. So Riley was being made fun of because of her moms who were lesbian. So that oppression of a minority class of people is already like inherent in the reason for like meeting with them anyway. That's like not a problem necessarily that a straight couple would have had, maybe. So that was a large part of the reason, period.
It definitely shows the privilege that a straight couple and their children might have in not being bullied, or just, you know, having a more, or feeling more safe in their environment at school.
I agree with what you guys are saying, and I think that this topic was totally relevant to what's going on in today's society. There is a lot of diversity, whether it be race, social class, you know, just many different things. So that's kind of why we chose this topic, to kind of go outside of the box.
Mm-hmm. The bullying is a big piece too. Bullying has become very prominent in schools right now, and you know, whether it's based on, you know, Riley's situation in our role play, or you know, whatever the case may be, somebody sees something different and they're trying to take power away from that person. And so, you know, we tried to address that as well. Okay, next thing we're going to talk about are the techniques we used, what techniques we used in the role play. We did talking papers and common ground. The talking papers showed the family that they were all talking basically about the same things. They all wanted the best for Riley. And common ground did very similar things. You know, we got to see that even though the families or the parents disagreed on what to do, and they didn't actually come to a decision, they got to a common ground with understanding where each person was coming from and that they wanted the same thing.
I think that Sabrina also did a good job of kind of incorporating nonviolent communication, using that kind of language, the inviting language, and saying, do you still need more time, versus, you know, saying, okay, time's up, for example. Yeah. So I think that as a social worker, she did a great job of facilitating that exercise.
They personally, I like the common grounds technique better because I feel like it's more versatile, but it was cool to see the talking paper used in a conflict resolution way too, and not just as like a introductory groupthink kind of way, but like you can actually see what people have in common that way. So I think that worked out well too.
I personally, I really like both of these exercises, and I think it'll be something that I use in the future. I think it's a great utilization tool, you know, kind of manage conflict in an easier way. I think it's something that, you know, you can use in your family as well as the social work environment. And as far as, you know, techniques go, as Riley said, I did try to use the nonviolent communication. But also I think we came together in trying to make sure each one of us were heard and seen. So,
So the next one is how the techniques were used in the role play. Sabrina facilitating both talking papers and common ground. She did a great job, you know, being our social worker, and you know, she had us write down and keep us on track, and put everything on the wall in the right, you know, category, asking us as we went along, you know, do you think this should go here? Is this okay? Should it go somewhere else? And really listening to us.
I think that we all did a good job of the active listening process and allowing us all, like you had mentioned, Sabrina, to be heard and really listened to, so that when we were paraphrasing back the Common Grounds exercise is really cool to be able to hear exactly what another person heard.
Mhm.
That was good.
Yeah, that was really natural the way we did it, because we didn't like memorize what we were saying. So we actually had to listen to the other person and try to remember what they were saying. And I think it made it more natural.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. You know, that it went to me more natural, just kind of winging it, and I think it worked out well.
Yeah, I agree. So what stage is our group in at the end of the course now? Week 7, thank goodness. So what stage do you guys see us in?
I'd say the emptying and the working stage. I had some complications throughout the semester. And I really do appreciate you guys being there and being supportive. It helped me, to be vulnerable and, be okay with that, because I'm not usually okay with vulnerability. And then the working stage, at the end of the day, we got it all done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you went through something very, very difficult. And I think we all stepped up and kind of understood that automatically without even having to talk about it. Really, it was just your assignment this week, have a glass of wine. So.
And I had 2 glasses.
And go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Joe.
I was saying, I think like that event tried to like kind of acted as a catalyst. I think that's like how, or why I said we like got to the emptying stage so fast, because we were already like so involved in each other's personal life, and then it just became like we are already comfortable with each other and started texting each other and talking to each other. And we got to the point of being really comfortable with each other, and that allowed us to work together really fast too, because we could just be honest with each other, because we already had all this other stuff out there.
Right.
I definitely feel like we've come to a lot of resolutions coming from the beginning of the group to the end of the group, where we started we didn't know each other, and we didn't really know how to interact or communicate with each other. And we all have this, great understanding of each other now, and have respect and empathy for one another too.
Yeah.